And our table topics master is going to be one of our excellent speech givers, which is going to be Heidi White.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. So at some point yesterday, there was a post on the page for Toastmasters. It's a group that's on there. And trying to stay away from political discussions, someone posted about pineapple on pizza, and it became like this really funny discussion, which made me think that food topics for table topics would be fun this evening. So for table topics, where we practice our impromptu speaking tonight, I found some really interesting foods from all over the world. So when I call on you, and I have several, so somebody can go twice if you want to. When I call on you, I am just going to give you the name of the dish and where it's from. And you have to tell me what it is and why it's delicious and why we need to try it. And then I will give you the real thing. Some of you may be more cultured than me and you know what these are, but hopefully they're challenging. And if you don't get it right on, I'll be there to let you know what these are. I thought about showing you pictures, but then I figured all of us just ate dinner and that would not be good. So you are welcome to Google these later on your own time. So who would like to go first in describing a delicious dish from somewhere in the world? Bert, are you volunteering? Awesome. All right. Your dish is, and I may mispronounce these, so have fun with it, is haggis. Haggis, Haggis. It's from Scotland. Can you please tell us what haggis is and why we should eat it? Mr. Copeland.
Fellow Toastmasters, and I'm timing this sucker too. I don't know who the timer is. I guess it's me. Haggis is actually something, if I went to Scotland and they told me you need to have this, I would say, I don't think so, because it's my understanding that it's cow intestines or some sort of intestines shoved full of some stuff. But over in that area of the woods, I guess alcohol has burned out their taste buds to such an extent that they'll eat anything if it doesn't move fast enough. I've been to a number of places. I've tried a number of things. I don't think I would go for the haggis, knowing its genealogy. Having said that, I've been to China, and we don't want to talk about some of the stuff they eat there. Fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you, Bert. Actually, haggis is a sheep's heart, liver, and lungs all minced together with some onions, oatmeal, suet, some salt and spices, and then it's cooked inside the animal's stomach. So if you ever go to Scotland, do not order haggis when you're there, or a Scottish restaurant. I've never seen a Scottish restaurant. All right, who would like to go next? Brandon, thank you. All right, Brandon, your food is called tripe, Tripe, and it doesn't have an origin. It's served apparently all over the world. So please tell us what tripe is and why we should try it.
So tripe, you may be familiar with, is similar to trout. Tripe is best served hot, right off the skillet. Some chefs usually throw the tripe in the skillet with a little butter, a little rosemary, and some garlic. You want to take that pan and give it 3 shakes. And once you do that, present it on a plate with some chopped spinach and some diced potatoes. Now the consistency or the texture of the tripe can be a little slimy after you cook it. But if you cook it to the right temperature and you give it those 3 shakes, it should come out well. Tripe is served all around the world and people enjoy tripe. So this is one of the reasons that you should try tripe, because people all over the world try tripe. So if you have the time, the next time you get a chance to go to a restaurant, which who knows when that will be, sit down and order the tripe.
Thank you so much. Tripe is actually the stomach lining of various animals. So it probably is a little slimy when it comes out of the oven. And I'm sure with rosemary and garlic, it would taste great. Does anyone have kids that watch Phineas and Ferb, or as an adult watch the cartoon Phineas and Ferb? And they have that episode where they go somewhere. I think it's somewhere in Africa, and the bully kid says, a little bit of garlic, little bit of butter, brains are delicious. And that's exactly what I thought about when you were saying garlic and rosemary. I was like, it works. It works. All right, Lawrence, you want to try one?
Sure.
All right.
I eat like a 12-year-old, so I'm I heard of this.
All right, here we go. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this one correctly, so we're just called Sonaki, Sannaki, Sonaki, and it's from South Korea. So can you please tell us why Sonaki is very good and why we should try it?
All right, can you say that one more time?
Sonaki.
Sonaki. Okay, I just want to make sure I was saying it right.
I may not be saying it right. So
Okay.
I just hope we're not offending anyone while I'm saying this.
Hey, I'm
right.
gonna wing it. All right. All right. Sonaki. Sonaki sounds just like a very cultural dish that's been in South Korea for many, many years. It's something, looks like a recipe that's been passed down for years and years. And when you go to South Korea, it sounds like something that you would probably need to try. Me, myself, like I said, I eat like a 12-year-old, so I'm not very cultural when it comes to food. But Sonaki sounds like a cultural dish that you would want to try. Reason why you would want to try, it's been in a lot of famous movies. It's been in a lot of famous scenes, and with South Korean royalty, this is one of the dishes that they recommend. So anytime their chef is cooking a special dinner, or anytime they have anyone of royalty coming from another country, they want to serve this dish. So if you get an opportunity to eat it, I think you should try it. Now, with the taste, I'm not sure how the taste is. It sounds like it tastes, sounds a little different, but at the same time, just like Brandon said, put a little rosemary and garlic on it, whatever kind of seasoning that you want to add to it, you can make it your own. So you can add hot sauce to it, you can add salt, pepper, whatever works for you. And you can add that to your Sonaki, so that way it tastes a little better. So you can have a little South Korean culture and then also add your culture into it as well. So that's why I think you should try Sonaki. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence. Sonaki is actually a dish where they cut off live baby octopus's tentacles, and then it's served with the little octopus still wriggling on your plate while you eat it. So if you go to South Korea, be very careful, because I think even with garlic and rosemary, that would not be something that I would want to try. So does anyone want to do another one? Or are we done with disgusting weird food? You want to do another one, Lawrence? All right.
I'm gonna try another one, because that got me
Bert
there.
raised his hand too. Awesome.
Yeah,
I've only got
you got
two.
me.
I only have two more, but Brandon, if you want to do one, I could look one up real quick. All right, Lawrence, here's yours. Yours is, I think it's balut or balut, B-A-L-U-T, and it is from the Philippines. So please let us know about balut and why we should eat it, or balut, however you pronounce it.
I actually think I've heard of this food before. I worked when I was at Fifth Third Bank. I used to work at Fifth Third Bank years ago, and I actually had a coworker that was from the Philippines, and I believe her mother was saying something about this food. I remember it being not the best thing in the world. It was something about like embryo or something, I think. I'm not sure. I highly wouldn't recommend it. That's the case. That doesn't sound very nutritious or very fulfilling. Personally, myself, I like to eat, food that is not alive and that's not have the potential of being birthed into something else in my stomach. So that's my recommendation for that. I haven't been to the Philippines before, and I don't think I've ever had any Philippines dishes. The South Korean one earlier really got me, and hopefully this one is not moving on your plate. I would think that would be a great recommendation for anytime you go to the Philippines. If your food is moving, I would recommend to not eat it. Make sure that it's not alive, make sure that it's cooked, and make sure that it doesn't make you regret it later on. So if you definitely want to try, balut, I definitely recommend making sure that it is done and cooked correctly. And I'm not sure if I was right or not, but I think that was what she said it was. Thank you, Madam Table Talking Master.
You are very close, Lawrence. It is actually a duck embryo that's
Okay, I
boiled,
remember something about embryo. Yeah.
that is boiled alive and still in its shell. And the picture showed that. So that was when I said I will.
Mm,
So yes, that's another one that is served alive. So please be
mm.
very careful because it sounds very fun and fancy, but it is not something you'd want. All right, Bert, ready for the last one? Bert knows a lot of these. I don't know. Let's see. This one is from Mexico. So maybe this one you know a little better. This one's called Eskimo. Eskimo. And I may be pronouncing that one wrong too. Escamol. Eskimo or Eskimo from Mexico. What is that, Bert? And why should we eat it?
Thank you for giving me this wonderful food, Madam Table Topics. The spelling is correct, but basically what it is an Eskimo that migrated too far south. They went past two borders, they just kept, and they ended up in Mexico, and then they were Eskimos. And they're kind of fat, so you got to drain the fat off of them because they live up in the Arctic Circle, and so therefore they have habituated to a constituency that is very high fat, even though they're very fit people because that's what they eat. The Mexicans probably figured, oh, there's an Eskimo we could have, and we could grill him and put him with some cilantro and some jalapenos, and it'll really hit the spot. So the next time you're in Mexico, give the Eskimos a break. Eat Mexican food. It's everywhere. And those table topics.
Thank you, Bert. Well, not close on that one at all.
Even so.
Eskimo is actually considered Mexican caviar, but it is larva and pupa of ants that are harvested from tequila plants and then served. I think they're cooked and dead when they're on your plate, but that is Mexican caviar. If you're going to the Riviera to some fancy club there and you see caviar on the menu, be sure it's the kind you want to eat. So, thank you so much, everybody. I will turn it back over if our Toastmaster doesn't throw up. I'm now sending you guys back to the Toastmaster. Thank you.